And it seems like every day the headlines here are becoming more and more dire. 14 million Americans unemployed, the biggest income gap than any other westernized country. And now, on top of all that, a news report that shows that Americans have the lowest ranking on access to justice compared to 11 other developed countries across the world. RT's Priya Sridhar takes a look at how the United States stacks up when it comes to justice. Take a look.
The United States of America, land of freedom and equality, a place where all citizens have equal access to life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness.
It's important for us to try and make sure that our country maintains the liberty and the freedom that we've had in the past.
Not if you ask the Tea Partiers. And while many might wonder what exactly they've been complaining about, it looks like they might be onto something. According to a new report by the World Justice Project, the United States ranks the lowest out of 11 developed countries when it comes to access to civil justice. And less than 1 in 5 low-income Americans gets the legal assistance they need.
Wealthier people get good lawyers, private lawyers. They get out of whatever they were accused of, and the same accusation against a low-income person of color will lead them to jail for lengthy periods of time.
And it looks like the good old U.S. of A. doesn't stack up when it comes to other factors either. Out of the 9 factors that the project looked into, from absence of corruption to limited government power to an effective criminal system, the United States ranked 7th or below out of 11 countries in all areas except for 1. But did we really need a report to prove that the United States isn't all it's cracked up to be? Let's take a look at the justice system. It's not just low-income Americans that don't have access to legal services. Many argue that African Americans are unfairly prosecuted too. In the
United States, we have this terrible problem with American bigotry. Racist bigotry, class bigotry. Within the system, not an accident, a system of white capital supremacy where we still have a large part of the population celebrating the idea that white people are superior to black people. Every day, Americans witness shocking stories of police brutality. And police departments across the country are shelling out sometimes up to $1 billion, as is the case in New York City, to settle cases, many having to do with brutality.
Everybody interacts with the police, and you think that they are there to serve and protect us. But, you know, police officers need to understand that they swear an oath to the Constitution, and the number one important factor they should provide in their job is constitutional protection for the citizens of this country. I think that's been lost.
And what about limited government powers? The United States ranks 9th out of the 11 developed countries when it comes to that. The National Legal and Policy Center recently found that the White House might be spying on Americans on Facebook, Twitter, and other social media websites. And not too long ago, President Obama re-signed the Patriot Act that allows the government to spy on Americans and seize personal records and private data in the name of Homeland Security.
We now know, and the federal government has admitted, that Homeland Security's main focus is not men in caves in Central Asia. The main focus is anti-war activists, Quakers, conservatives, libertarians, land rights activists, anti-GMO activists. It's basically everybody.
And while the United States wages wars abroad to bring freedom and democracy to other countries, many say it need not look beyond its own borders to find problems to solve.
And here we are going around the world bombing and invading other countries to bring democracy to them, when we really should be focusing on improving our democracy here at home.
A hypocrisy and irony that may just contradict what the United States was founded on. Priya Sridhar, RT, Washington, D.C.